Welcome. Wait, what did we say? Welcome to episode. Start again. Welcome to episode 72 of A Message From. We're your hosts. I'm Edward.
I'm Alyson.
And you can see us with your own two eyes.
See us. We're on video. We're doing a new thing. Where we record these on video.
Yeah. We decided during the break that this would be a good idea. It's weird though because I'll be looking at you normally.
Right. On the screen.
Yeah.
But we're alive and in color and the person.
We are.
And the person.
We are. Should we have turned to face each other actually?
No.
You know, because
I'm going to face each other?
Yeah, I feel like we should probably face each other, right?
Well, I mean, this is good, right? We don't want to be like...
Yeah, but I just got to make sure I'm talking at the same time into this microphone. Anyway.
Shoulders angled.
We've been together for almost a week now at this point. So we've told all the stories we need to. You guys heard about it if you listened to the mini message that we did last week. But one thing I didn't tell you, which I realized today, was about the baby on my flight from Frankfurt to Vancouver.
Okay, baby.
There was a baby.
Don't like.
This, I mean, to make it all very quick, because it's not exactly very important, all these details, this family had got on and they were definitely speaking some sort of Eastern European language.
Okay.
Right? But they were all separated. And so they were all the flight attendants were trying to get these people to sit together, which I was like, okay, whatever. But it was this wife, this father, a baby, baby. And then at least, I think another toddler, not toddler, but
okay, but how did they, if you have all these young children, how do you not be okay, we need to pick seats for this flight?
It felt very last
minute. You can't just let it ride.
It felt very... I honestly don't even know. It was very weird. The things they came on with, too, were very strange. They came with, legit baby toys. You know that thing at, the doctor's office that's, it's a square with all the, metal lines? One of those was, their carry-on item. It was very weird. The whole thing was very strange.
It's not a plane-friendly toy.
No.
I used to play with those at the dentist office.
Exactly, right? Very doctor's office. I'm not even sure if I've seen those, in people's actual homes.
Yeah.
But I digress. This couple, about 3/4 of the way into the flight, they're sitting the row behind me. And I can tell that, everyone is standing up. This is a long ascent flight, right? They're standing and talking, and they're kind of arguing. They've been doing it kind of the whole time, but it's very at this point, I don't even hear it. And all of a sudden, I just hear a thud. And then they start arguing more.
The baby dropped. They dropped the baby.
They didn't drop the baby. The baby fell off the seat.
The baby was just sitting in the seat unattended?
Well, they were clearly in the aisles, chatting while the baby was in between. But it was the mother was doing something. And I think the father was talking to a flight attendant or something. And all of a sudden, thud. And they started arguing about how they both. And the baby cried. And I was like, oh no. The baby only cried for 30, 45 seconds, and the baby was fine. And I was just I can't believe you dumped your baby.
Well, so it's different for every airline. They have their different rules and stuff. But I think most of them require to have a baby seat. You have to have a seat that can be strapped in.
This one, they gave them something to keep the baby in for takeoff.
They have special seat belts and stuff.
Yeah. But since it was I don't know, mid-flight.
But if it's a baby, you can't trust it to sit up on its own. It's going to flop over.
I'm surprised they didn't just put the baby in the fucking overhead bins with all the rest of their shit.
With their little toys.
It was wild.
Oh my God.
But yeah.
I do have one story I did not tell you. So right before I left for vacation to go to Canada, I had a really important work meeting, right?
Okay.
We were presenting our budget for the next fiscal year to the president. Basically anyone who's got letters in their title, COO, CFO, CEO, they were all in there, right?
Okay.
And so here I'm thinking all the the spreadsheets and documents and stuff that we were sharing and that would be presented, it all came from the FP&A office, right? And they had everyone submit our stuff to them, and they were compiling it all. So you would think they're the ones who are going to project this stuff, right?
Okay.
In the room, and we get in there and everything's all set up and everything good to go. But then they ended up disconnecting like the Zoom meeting because no one was virtual. Everyone was there in person. But then it was like, oh, who's going to project the spreadsheets? And I'm like, this was your guys' thing. Like, this was your thing. You wanted everyone to send it to you. You pulled down the shared files so, like, people couldn't access them after they were submitted. Like, it's your thing. But they see me with my computer out. And so they're like, oh, Alyson, do you want to present? You can do it, right? Your computer's on. And I'm sitting there like, well, I was going to use my notes on my computer, but sure, I'll present. And so we're sitting at this, like, huge conference table. And when I was plugging my computer in, you know how sometimes it's, like, really hard to plug something into an outlet? And you're like...
Yeah.
It was... Yeah. For some reason, it was so hard to get my computer charger into this outlet. Like, I had to push it in there so hard. So now I'm, like, angry and flustered because I'm like, I should not be the one having to project this stuff. So I'm trying to, like, move my computer to the front of the room where the hookup was. So the IT guy could, like, set me up and everything. And so I go to yank the cord out because I'm like, it was so hard to get it in. It's going to be really hard to get it out. I yank it out so hard, but it, like, just like that came out. Like, no force at all.
Oh.
I hit the COO in the knee so hard. Why
was he sitting so close to the outlet?
I don't, well, because it was under the table. I punched him so hard. And this was like, I don't like him. People know I don't like him. I don't know if he knows I don't like him. Well, I have good reason to, I have good reason to not like him, but after this, I'm like, we're kind of even. But it was, I was already like fed up with him because he walks in, he's like, oh, I don't even know if we've met in person before. I'm like, we have. It was one of those things where people like don't remember meeting you. And I'm like, we've met in this same very room before at this time last year when we were doing this. And this like, so you were an ass then. So I didn't say that to him, but he was very rude then too. Which was like,
no one follows this who you work with, right?
I hope not.
Okay. All right.
So I'm like, okay, that's great. So that happens. And then I like have my computer, my laptop in my hands, and I'm going to move it, and I look up. More. The screen, blue. The screen goes blue. And I'm like, what's happening? And then everyone's like, oh, blue screen of death, blue screen of death. And I'm like...
To your computer?
Yeah. You've never heard that? Blue screen of death? No. Like when your computer screen turns blue, that means it's like... Is that a PC? It's bad news, yeah.
Oh. So did your computer die?
So the executive IT guy's there, right? Nas saves the day. He's like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'll fix it. It's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine.
I mean, you're like, it's my work computer. Like, who cares, right?
Well, yeah, but I'm like, I need it to present to this meet. Like, I have to present my budget to the president right now.
You still haven't presented?
No.
Why did you unplug your computer then?
Because I needed to move it around so he could plug it in so I could project.
Okay.
Because I wasn't sitting in front of the hookup.
Okay. Got it.
And so when I, like, the force in which this man leaned on the power button on my laptop because it would not restart, I thought he was going to snap the thing in half. I was like, this is not happening right now. I've punched the COO after making it clear that I want nothing to do with him.
Oh my God.
My computer's dying, but it all turned out okay. So.
All right. Well, I'm glad that your computer didn't die from a blue screen.
It didn't, but it was weird.
Well,
it took him a long time to get it working.
In front of all those people?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds awful.
Yeah.
That sounds horrific.
But it was fine. I'm still employed for now.
For now. We'll see what happens next Tuesday. I don't know about that.
See what happens.
We had previously... This is for you, not for her. We had previously... what were we doing? We got bubble tea and like went to Target and like
you
walked
were
around.
Playing Would You Rather with the wildest questions.
Well, it didn't start off as Would You Rather. It started off as what is like the worst date you could think of, because it seemed like we were two people on a date walking around this like mini fake lake with bubble tea and Roots Canada tote bags. And
we were very matchy.
Yeah. And you didn't come up with a terrible date, did you?
Well, no, because I was so taken aback by yours. I was like, how does one human come up with this in their brain unless it's happened?
Terrible. My idea was this isn't maybe not the worst, but it's like definitely like in the group of one of the worst things that could happen to me on a first date was having to go to this person that I'm on a date with. Like their, how did I describe it?
They're like grandparents' old person's home or something.
Having to go to an event that one of their grandparents and or parents, you know, who never knows how old all these things happen.
I think we said grandparents.
We did. One of the events at the nursing home they're living in, like as a first date, and I thought it would just be terrible.
I mean, who would even think that was a first date?
I don't know, but like first date stories can be crazy.
Yeah.
Not that we've necessarily had crazy first date stories.
No one has taken me to their grandparents' nursing home. Thank God.
Not yet. You just wait until we're in our 50s.
Well, then we'll be on our way to a nursing home already anyway.
Speak for yourself. I hope I'm not. Well, by the time I'm 50, you'll be how old?
53? 52?
Maybe you will be in a nursing home.
Maybe
I'll be visiting you.
Maybe you will. Maybe you'll bring your boyfriend to the nursing home to visit me.
Oh no, yeah, that's possible. Maybe I'm manifesting my own terrible first date. Oh my God. You better be at a nice nursing home.
Speaking it out into the universe.
Into the universe. I found a bunch of questions that are kind of terrible. That are like date questions you haven't thought to ask. And it's like, probably because they're terrible.
Okay.
So
hit me.
Let me pull them up bigger on my screen, except they just disappeared. No, there they are. All right. This infographic is also like color coded very weirdly. It's very strange. But anyway, if you could get back one toy from childhood, what would it be? Like, imagine asking somebody that on a first date.
These are not the questions I would ever ask on a first date.
No, I mean, to be fair, you haven't thought to ask it, have you?
No, I haven't, but I feel like also these days you really just got to get straight down to it. Like, are you insane?
Well, yeah, there's that.
Are you insane? And then we can later get to the, like, what was your favorite toy as a child?
Well, what if you could get back one toy, what would it be?
I'm struggling to decide. You know, I can't make a decision ever.
I know.
Is it my...
We all know.
Is it my... Oh my gosh. Is it my Easy Bake Oven?
Is it?
It was so good, but also...
you couldn't eat any of that shit now? You wouldn't eat any of that now?
Hi-Ho Cheerio, I loved that game. But that's a game. We're going toy, right?
Toys are games. Games are toys, right?
It would either be Hi-Ho Cheerio or my Easy Bake Oven.
Interesting.
What about you?
I would have to do the Barbie I had that changed color in the water. She was a mermaid Barbie.
Ooh, yeah. Fun.
Yeah, fun, right?
I had some very good Barbies.
We've discussed Barbies?
I don't think we have.
We have discussed Barbies.
Not really.
Yeah, you told me about your Barbies quite a few times.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me about my Barbies.
You distinctly remember the dolphin that came with the...
I commented that on an Instagram post. This is not a conversation that we've had.
I know enough about your Barbies. Next question.
Next one.
Tell me a number, 1 through 12.
12.
Okay. What's a specific way I can show you love this week?
If someone asked me that, I would literally throw up on them and walk away. I'm not even kidding you. I would be like, this is done. This isn't going to work out. Bye.
Yeah, I would end the date there. What's a specific way I can show you love this week?
By never speaking again.
Me? To you?
No,
this week?
not you. This week.
Well, on the next 2 days. We only have 2 days left.
Don't put your toe anywhere near me.
Oh my God. We're not discussing
that.
That's
how you can show me love.
I hate that I can't cut as much as I usually do if we're going to do this on a video. All right, next question. When you were a kid, who was your biggest hero? That's like fine, but it's like just too sappy for me on a first
I don't
date.
even know if I know who my biggest hero was as a kid. Who was my hero?
I don't know.
I don't think I had one.
Oh, that's sad. Mine was my grandfather. I wrote about it. It's hanging on the wall in front of him.
Honestly, I don't think I had a hero. Who was my hero? I don't think I looked up to anyone. I looked up to my future self.
And how's that going for you?
Fabulous.
All right. What was your first nickname? That's actually not a terrible first date question.
Allie. Just basic. Like an abbreviation of my first name.
I don't think what my first nickname was. Like as a child, I'm not really sure.
If we want to go back to like the very, very, very first, I don't know if you could call this a nickname. But as soon as I was born, everyone said I looked like E.T., which is such an insult.
So they called you E.T.?
I don't think they ever called me E.T., but there have definitely been comments about how I looked like E.T. when I was born, which I think is so rude.
That's very rude, but I also hate babies, and I think they all look like E.T.
Never let anyone live it down. I wasn't brown. I wasn't that wrinkly.
Was E.T. brown? I thought he was like
E.T.
gray.
was brown. Wasn't he brown?
I think I saw it once as a child on like TV.
He was like a wrinkly piece of poop.
I mean, he looked... Yeah, it was
giving
like raisin.
A wrinkly piece of poop when I was born.
I mean, maybe you did.
Maybe I did.
Maybe you did. You weren't there. Well, you were there, but you weren't conscious. I was
there. There are photos.
There are
photos. Doesn't look like E.T. But anyway. What is your first name? Eddie Spaghetti?
I definitely got Eddie Spaghetti a lot. I definitely got like forms of Edward and like Eddie and Ed. My mother was very adamant. That was one. Didn't like that TV show. I'm sure we've talked about it.
That was stupid.
But I hated it because I hated the characters' names.
Yeah.
Also triggering because it was 3 Edwards, which was like very specific to me. It wasn't just like my name was Edward. It was the whole thing. But my mother was very adamant about me being called Edward, like in all forms. But my first legitimate nickname was Wojo.
Wojo.
Yeah, which then a track coach tried to... No, everyone would shorten it to Woj, which makes sense. And then my track coach tried to shorten it to Woe, and that one didn't catch on.
No.
I was like, that's too short.
Like, sports-wise, during cheerleading and stuff, people just call me by my last name.
Very high school.
Yeah.
Just be, like, referred to by your last name.
That's fine. Plus, my sister was older than me. She was 3 years older than me, so she had already gone through high school, and, like, all the teachers obviously knew my name, and so, yeah. Just call me by my last name.
My brother tried to hijack my nickname while I was still in high school. And it didn't work.
You can't have 2 with the same nickname.
No, yeah. People, I think, in his, like, sphere kind of called him that. And I was also called that, but I think I had, like, a 51%. I owned 51% of this company, and he had, like, 49, you know? It was very close.
That's close.
Very close. Very close. Too close for comfort, but anyway.
One more for the road.
One more? All right.
One more for the road. Number 3.
If you woke up tomorrow as the opposite sex, what 3 things would you do? I
oh my god,
never want to know what that would be. From someone I'm dating on the first date. These questions are cursed.
What 3 things would you do?
I don't know. I would say paint my nails, but I paint my nails anyway.
I think I would go out and buy like some really nice Jordans and then wear them with all the man clothes that I already own.
You just do that now.
Just be out in public, dressed like a man. I would love that.
But you can just do that now.
I could. Maybe I will.
Yeah.
Maybe I already buy men's clothes, so will my hair automatically be short? I would absolutely cut my hair to like a short haircut.
I guess I would.
Like a masculine haircut.
Yeah. I mean, you could do that now too.
I guess I would go to a barber. Oh my gosh, I would have like the barber experience.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. I've already been to like nail salons and hair salons.
Yeah.
So like that's not something that I could do for the first time.
What else do men do?
Maybe I'd go shopping at like for a bra and get like bra size.
That's not fun at all.
Right? It seems horrific. I've heard it's terrible. But that would be like kind of a unique experience.
Yeah, unique to women.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, unique to people who have boobs.
True.
There you go.
True.
Anyway, was that enough for you?
That was good. I'm good on that.
That last one really woof.
Ooh, okay, moving on. Moving on to a break because we need to take a break.
Yeah.
We'll take a break. We'll be back.
Hello. Edward here. Just wanted to say thank you so much for listening. It means a lot to both myself and Alyson. And it would mean even more if you sent us a message at 202-630-4509 or a message from pod@gmail.com. Also, while you're at it, go ahead and throw us a rate and review. 5 stars always feels good. And check us out on amfpod.com for all the little extra content that we have. Now, let's get back into it. Welcome back from the break, where we definitely didn't do anything except for hit pause.
We never do anything during the breaks.
No, that's not true. We've had breaks before where we've been gone for
a few, yeah.
More than a few. I'm the one who has to edit it. Oh, sometimes they're like quite long.
I always think they're really quick.
There was like back when we were doing like challenges, like the push-up challenge. There's definitely like one where I cut out like 4 minutes of like.
Oh, we were actually doing the challenge. Yeah. Well.
Anyway. Today we have a message from Theshira, who is the podcast host of Legendary Africa, a podcast where she talks about like myth, folklore, tales such as those categories, you know, from the continent of Africa. It's quite good. She's currently on a hiatus, I think, right now, because she's busy getting some stuff done for her PhD. So
you have time to listen to the backlog.
Yeah, which is some good stuff.
Catch
Because
up.
I hate when it's story stuff like that. And if someone's like building on a story in any capacity, I need to start from the beginning. So that's what I do with her podcast. And I do with many podcasts.
All the podcasts. Start from the beginning.
Yeah.
But it's worth it.
It is. So here's Theshira's message.
Hello, Edward and Alyson. This is Theshira from the Legendary Africa podcast. My topic for you deals with shipwrecks. There are more than 2,500 shipwrecks along the coast of South Africa, my home country. We have wrecks of Portuguese, Dutch, French, and British ships, all scattered along the coast. And the Cape of Good Hope is even notoriously known as the graveyard of ships. Most famously, the SS Waratah was sailing along the SA coast from Durban to Cape Town, where it seemingly vanished into thin air. 211 passengers and an entire crew gone. No trace has ever been found. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this and any other legendary shipwrecks. Thanks for having me.
All right. Shipwrecks.
I
don't think I necessarily... I don't know if there's a cardinal outside your window.
I see cardinals all the time. And
I saw one on a run yesterday.
Really?
Well, the run I took yesterday.
Okay. I don't know if this is like something specific to my family or if this is a real thing, but I swear, like, after my grandpa died, someone said like cardinals were supposed to be like a symbol of like your loved one or something.
Oh, really?
And so every time I see one, I think of my grandpa.
Oh, interesting. I've never heard of that specific bird, but I've heard of like people calling out things, being like, oh, that is like so-and-so.
Yeah.
So I think it was like Chelsea Handler was talking about an orange or something. And she would say like something along the lines of like, if I see an orange today, like it's a sign.
Oh.
And then she'll like start seeing them, you know? But I don't know. Manifestation. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to what I was going to say.
Back to shipwrecks.
Yeah. I don't know if I explicitly knew that like it was dangerous sailing region under South Africa. You know, the whole Cape situation going on there in the many Capes. I don't know if I explicitly knew that, but when Theshira said that in the message, I thought to myself, I think I did know this.
Yes.
Like generally.
I think it's probably general knowledge. I don't know. I mean, I kind of knew it, but I also used to watch a lot of like Discovery Channels and National Geographic. So I feel like that's probably where I heard it from.
Could be.
But I was so excited when we got this message. I was like, the second I listened to it, I was like, I already know what shipwreck I'm going to talk about. It's perfect.
Well, okay. Before we get into the one that you specifically have, the one that Theshira was talking about is wild.
Tell me about it.
Wild.
Tell us about it.
It's like straight up just fully disappeared.
Like Bermuda Triangle stuff?
No, because that's not anywhere near it.
Well, I know, but like Bermuda Triangle, things just disappear there and people never find a trace again.
Oh, yeah. Very that. They like thought they did find something. I'm trying to pull up the webpage I found all this stuff on. Waratah?
I don't know how to pronounce it. We should have done this before we recorded.
She pronounced it and I already forget it. She was right. It's right. They lost like 200 some passengers with it. But the thing was, they thought that they had found it like more recently. And turns out it was just another ship. So it's like still just nowhere. But it's like one of a bajillion types of shipwrecks in the area. I also saw that when the Suez Canal was blocked more recently by the Evergreen, I believe. Yeah. Evermore? No, Evermore is that Taylor Swift album. Evergreen.
Oh, my Evergreen.
Quite a few ships decided that it would be better to actually just go around Africa than rather than just wait it out.
Yeah.
Which made them go through this like Cape of Good Hope, which is ironically not a lot of good hope going on there. And I was like, oh.
Every dangerous.
I wouldn't even trust it now.
I think nowadays it's probably much. We have so many more tools.
You say that now?
We have so many more tools.
You say that now? What about the Bermuda Triangle?
Well, that's weird. That's like alien stuff. That's like the aliens are just zapping
Not rocks,
people.
Just alien stuff. Yeah. Right. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's. I was trying to see if there was another one. Yeah, this one had like 3 from the Cape of Good Hope. The other one was the I can't ever say
Grosvenor.
Grosvenor. Looks like Grosvenor, but it's not. That inspired an essay by Charles Dickens. I don't know. And then another one about the Flying Dutchman. Do we love?
The Flying Dutchman. It's such like a classic tale.
Yeah, I mean,
also SpongeBob. The Flying Dutchman is SpongeBob.
I had a feeling you were gonna like tie it back to SpongeBob.
I will. Like, if there's an opportunity to tie something to SpongeBob, I will do it.
It's very millennial of you.
I wish I was wearing my SpongeBob shirt right now.
Well, why didn't you?
I didn't know we were going to talk about SpongeBob.
Any opportunity you can get.
I mean, in that case, I got to wear the SpongeBob shirt every day.
You never know. You never know.
You never know when you're going to get to talk about him.
So what did you find?
So, there is this shipwreck, and I feel like everyone's heard of it because a song was made about it. The Edmund Fitzgerald. Have you heard of it?
No.
So there's this song by Gordon Lightfoot called The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. He wrote the song a year after the Edmund Fitzgerald actually wrecked. So this ship wrecked in Lake Superior, which is one of the Great Lakes surrounding Michigan. So, of course, I know about this one.
You're like saying this to me directly as if I don't know what Lake Superior is.
Well, I don't know. I mean, everyone should know what Lake Superior is now because Lake Superior's Twitter account is blowing up. It's not like the official Lake Superior, but it's like there's a Lake Superior Twitter account. Check it out if you haven't seen it. Funny stuff. Mm-hmm. So anyway, the Great Lakes obviously are famously great, but they're also very huge. So
isn't that why they're
like
great?
Large ships, well, yeah, part of it. Anyway, large ships obviously would transport a lot of like raw materials between all the states in there. So one of the main routes, because obviously like Detroit, Toledo, all that area, you know, Rust Belt, there are a lot of manufacturing there, a lot of steel companies, all this stuff. So one of the routes was to go from like Wisconsin or Minnesota around Michigan and down to like Detroit and Toledo, where they would deliver materials for all the, you know, factories and everything. So November 10th, 1975.
Wow.
The Edmund Fitzgerald.
Did you memorize this stuff or you just know this?
I memorized it, but also like I like read it once. I remember things. I remember things. I have a good memory. Sometimes I have a good memory. Okay. So anyway, ship leaves, right? It is on its way to Detroit. Also, fun fact, when the Edmund Fitzgerald was first built, it was the largest ship on the Great Lakes for like 13 years until someone like usurped its crown. But it was also launched at River Rouge, which is like very close to where I grew up.
Oh, okay.
So very fascinating.
This is very close to home.
November 10th, 1975. We knew the weather was bad. We knew there were storms, but these ships.
Wait, 75? This thing was like not made of wood.
No. It was not made of wood.
Interesting.
Because this happened in the 70s.
I associate most shipwrecks with like wood.
No, she was not wood.
Well, I guess the Titanic, most famous shipwreck.
Yeah.
Not wood.
True.
Damn. Okay.
We learn things every day. So we knew that the weather was rough. We knew there were pending storms, but these captains this was not their first rodeo, right?
Right.
So they're carrying their, they were carrying something for the steel mills. I don't remember what they were carrying.
Steel.
But steel pellets and not coal. What were they carrying? Anyway, doesn't matter. So another ship, the Anderson, I believe it was kind of like sailing nearby. They were, they were inside of each other and they were maintaining radio communications the whole time. But there were these bad storms and everything. And so they were like obviously checking in on each other. And at one point, the captain of the Edmund Fitzgerald was basically saying like, he basically let the other captain know like there were some issues. They had accidentally gone over this like shallow part over a shoal that they shouldn't have gone over. And so we knew that there were like some sustained damages, but obviously no one really knew the extent. And their plan was to bring it into like a cove at Whitefish Point, which is like northern Michigan, way up there. And they're like maintaining these communications. There's a snowstorm. The waves are huge. The waves are crashing onto the decks, like bad news bears. So anyway, after 7:10 p.m. or something, they lost communications with each other.
7:10 p.m.?
Yeah.
7 to 10 or 7:10?
7:10, like 7:10 p.m.
Wow, that is very specific.
Yes.
She really did memorize all this
I
stuff.
I did. So anyway, the Anderson's captain, like, can't get a hold of them anymore. He's calling the Coast Guard. He doesn't see sight of him. He's calling the Coast Guard. Like, no one can get communication with the Edmund Fitzgerald. So the Anderson makes it to Whitefish Point, and they, like, stop there. But the ship is just gone. No communications, anything. And they're trying to get, like, the Coast Guard to go out. The Navy was flying out, but they couldn't find anything. There was no communications. And so, like, the Navy went out the next day again. The Coast Guard went out the next day again. But they were finding debris, right? They're finding debris from the shipwreck. So they're like, obviously, the ship went down. All 20, I think this is like 29 people on board, 22 people on board, 20-something. Not too many. All dead
Still
with the
sad.
shipwreck. Yeah, still sad. All of them died. They found, like, the Navy sent a submersible down, and they found the ship pretty quickly. But, so it's super famous because then the following year, Gordon Lightfoot made this song, The Wrecking of the Edmund Fitzgerald. So, like, obviously, everyone who knows anything about, like, 70s music has heard the song, knows about the song.
Why do I know about Gordon Lightfoot?
Everyone's heard of Gordon Lightfoot. We'll listen to, a copyright, I assume we can't play the song on the pod.
I'm not doing that.
But I will let you listen to it after, and you can hear it. There's also, like,
Lucky me.
There's I don't know which brewery it was, but there's a beer called, like, Edmund Fitz as well. There are a lot of breweries in Michigan as well. But anyway, I digress.
A lot of breweries in Michigan.
Yes, there
Spitting
are.
facts out here.
So anyway,
Gordon Lightfoot. Is that from Stranger Things?
I don't know. Maybe.
I'll look us up later.
Anyway, there's a shipwreck museum in Whitefish Point in northern Michigan where they were attempting to get to because, like, the captain obviously knew that they had gotten some damage when they were going over that shoal. And so there's a shipwreck museum there, and they were able to rescue the bell. There's, like, a bronze bell that was on the Edmund Fitzgerald, and they were able to salvage that and, like, buff it up, like, restore it. And it's on display there at the Shipwreck Museum.
Oh,
but, like, a year later, the Coast Guard I think it was the Coast Guard, they, like, put out their report basically trying to, they said, like, we cannot conclusively state how the ship sunk, but we suspect that crew members left hatches open, and when the waves were crashing on deck, it flooded the hold, the cargo area, and then the ship lost its buoyancy. But then the captain of the Anderson was like, no, absolutely not. And all, like, these shipping associations were like, no, there's no way. That crew was too good. They would never do that. And so the captain of the Anderson was saying, like, he thinks that the captain of the Edmund Fitzgerald kind of knew all along once he went over that shoal that they were going down, that they were sinking, but he was trying to not, like, create panic. Because who could have done anything at that point? Like, they're both in the middle of a storm,
Yeah.
So
I don't really know how ships work, but wasn't there, like, a lifeboat?
There were lifeboats, but I know the lifeboats on the Anderson were taken out by those huge waves that were crashing onto the deck.
But what about the
Edmund Fitzgerald, I don't know. We don't know about their lifeboats.
Look at that Michigan folklore.
Right?
I would have never known.
I was so excited because I was like, oh, we're talking about the Edmund Fitzgerald.
I was also excited to talk about the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Well, you are now. You know all the facts.
I definitely heard all the facts. I don't know if I know all the facts, but I definitely heard all the facts.
So talk to us about your newly found favorite shipwreck.
I don't have a newly
You don't
found.
have one?
No.
Oh, I thought we were both with skin in the game, like coming with a favorite shipwreck to talk about.
No.
Oh.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, that's all, folks. See you next time.
I mean, my other question was, like, and I already kind of asked it, was like, what would be the most famous shipwreck?
Well, the Titanic, obviously.
And I answered it myself. It must be the Titanic. Unless there's, like, something older, like Spanish Armada type shit. But I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
I mean, there might be, but I feel like nowadays everyone, like, you just think of Titanic.
Actually, yeah, no, that's what I was thinking too. But I think there was just some, and by just I mean in the past academic year, right? So like late 2021 up until now 2022.
Okay.
Like ads for some sort of Spanish TV show on like Movistar or like some service. I don't remember what it was, but it was like about some like lost galleon or something, and like the gold or something.
I would love to watch this.
You probably would. And you would love it probably more because Stanley Tucci was in it. But I was very confused because it was like
random
en español, and I don't know if Stanley Tucci speaks Spanish.
I don't think maybe he does. I don't know.
I know, and every time I saw the trailer, it was like never enough. I wasn't giving enough. Like I accidentally clicked like skip, and I was like, oh, I need to go back and watch it. And then I got lost in everything I was watching.
Sad.
So,
whoopsie.
Yeah, but I think it must be Titanic.
Titanic, absolutely. And if it's not, let us know. Give us a call. Talk to us about your favorite shipwreck, because I thought this guy was going to come with a favorite shipwreck, and he didn't.
I mean, it's not like we didn't hit the time that we needed to.
Well, yeah, but doesn't everyone want to learn more about shipwrecks? If you want to learn more about shipwrecks, or if you want to talk about shipwrecks, or if you want to talk about anything else under the sun, you can send us in a message, give us a call at 202-630-4509, or you can send us an email, a message from pod@gmail.com. Check out our Instagram, a message from Twitter, a message from _ We want to hear from you, so let us know what you have to say. Don't forget to rate and review us. One thing that I noticed that Theshira said on her Legendary Africa podcast, she was like, well, any review you want. It could be good, it could be bad, it could be angry, like it could be, criticizing us. And I was like, oh, we never say that. We're just like 5-star only, please.
I mean, like, you can write whatever you want. Reviews, just give it 5 stars.
Yeah, and true.
You could say it's actually garbage, but here's 5 stars.
Garbage, but 5-star garbage.
Yeah. And if you're watching this, give it a thumbs up or whatever.
Hit thumbs up, like, subscribe, comment. We want to hear from you. So, get in touch, and we will talk to you next time.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
This is weird. Bye.
Bye.